Welcome back, America. Duane Patterson finishing up day one of our stint at the American Legislative Exchange Council, the 50th gathering of ALEC down here in Orlando. He will be back tomorrow. I'm joined by Arizona State Senator to round things out by Jim Dotson. And Jim, welcome back to the Hugh Hewitt Show. Good to have you here.
Good to be here. And just one small correction, Arkansas, not Arizona.
Well, that is a difference. That is a difference.
Yeah.
My relatives are from Arkansas. They would be ashamed of me for doing that. My ancestry comes from Siloam Springs.
Oh yeah, that's about 20 minutes from me.
Northwest corner.
Yep,
the only part of Arkansas worth anything. Tell me what life is like under a governor in Arkansas that got some things put through this year. You had a massive ESA win this year.
Oh, it's been a phenomenal year for Arkansas. I was in the state house for 10 years. I'm 6 months into my first term in the state Senate.
Right.
And this first session with Sarah Huckabee Sanders as governor has been nothing short of incredible.
She's a force of nature.
We have seen tremendous wins. Obviously, like you're talking about with the ESA, the education reform was not just an ESA, but it was an overall education reform package.
Explain to people what's in that so they know kind of the basics of bullet points in it.
Absolutely. So as a component of the education reform package she championed and pushed through, it included a lot of different things with a focus on literacy, a focus on the getting kids the foundational basis for learning and reading, especially by the time they're in the third grade. If they're not on grade level, just making some major incentives and investments in learning coaches and things like that for traditional public school students, which are still going to be, 80-90% of students, which is a large percentage of the state. But also giving options and opportunities for students that may not follow that traditional public school path, which more and more are looking at, virtual schools. Obviously, we still have a large percentage of charter schools, private schools, home schools, and the like. So making sure we have the availability of resources for parents to be able to direct the education of their individual students' needs, and however that student learns the best is really the opportunity that's in front of us. And over the course of the next 3 years, we will move toward universal eligibility for school options for all parents. So really it's empowering parents, and the education freedom accounts is what we're calling them, that parents can qualify for. This will be year one of that. 1.5% of the students in the state could qualify for them in year one.
Mm-hmm.
It could go to 3% next year in year two, and then universal eligibility for students in year 3 and beyond. So all the students in the state could have opportunity to take up to 90% of the funds that go toward a traditional public school, put those into an account, kind of like a health savings account that can be only spent on educational services for that student. So things like tuition, tutoring, books, fees, uniforms, things of that nature that are educational expenses that student can specifically have for their educational unique learning capabilities, whatever they need to have directed for them personally.
This may be a controversial statement. Arizona set the standard. They set the bar really high with their bill. Florida did theirs. Ohio has now done theirs. I think Arkansas took the bar that Arizona had, and I think they raised the bar a little bit. I think Arkansas is now the standard, right? That's the one by which all else is measured.
I like to think so as well, but
just objectively, it kind of is now, isn't it?
It is definitely. I think all the states are competing now, and this is obviously an idea whose time has come for many.
Agreed.
So we're seeing more and more states start to jump on. West Virginia took the lead 2 years ago, and then Arizona passed last year. And then I think we're up to 7, 8, 9 states maybe that have passed some sort of universal
Lee,
school
real quick.
choice in the last.
Yeah, just the indoctrination part. There's a prohibition on indoctrinating students.
Right.
How do you enforce something like that? What do you do about that?
Well, that's one of the things that is continuously going to be a battle and a fight to try to figure out what are those when we see things that are happening, how do you address those? The Department of Education right now is also looking at specific rules on implementation of the law and how we wrote the broad framework, but we gave them the ability to write specific rules in the implementation of it at more of a granular level. And so once those rules have been written, we'll come back and review those, approve those rules, and then probably put those into statutory form in future years.
Jim Dotson, thank you very much for your time. Thanks for closing out a terrific first day at ALEC.
Thank you.
See you in the conference.